What about it, YouTube? What we've got here is a 1983 Yamaha Tri-Moto YT125 Resto mod, if you will. It's got the 175 front end on it now. Quite a few upgrades. That's not really what I want to talk about in this video, but what I do want to talk about is how to ride this thing and how to ride it safely. Now, I come from motorcycles, so this is what I'm used to as far as correct or proper or safe riding positions and techniques. Okay, and you've probably noticed how guys will be on their bike going around a berm and they're throwing this front leg forward as they go around the corner. So you can imagine this is like a pendulum, like this is a lever. Imagine another situation. Imagine how the weight and the inertia and the moment of the inertia would be affected by having a weight, say, welded onto the frame that came off and stuck out towards the wheel. You can imagine how that weight would be angling pressure down on that front wheel, helping it to get grip around the corner. Okay, so that's just a basic known when it comes to dirt bikes. So how can you apply some of this to three-wheel riding? And so I'm going to tell you from my experience what's safe and what works, and how the relationship between the rear wheels and the front wheels and where you position your weight, how that's going to affect everything. So you got to always remember where your contact points are. You've got 1, 2 up here and 2 down there, and then you've got your seat. So another difference between motorcycles and a three-wheeler, it's way safer to sit, or to basically sit at all times. The higher you position yourself, the center of gravity increases and your stability decreases significantly. So on a motorcycle, you want to stand more than you want to sit. On a three-wheeler, you want to sit more than you stand, for sure. And so you've got your rear end is a major player in how to control the trike. And so going back to how things work with your position points, Ryan Hughes talks about how you want to separate your bottom half from your top half, and he relates it to how the machine has a front half and a back half. And so where your front half meets this front half needs to connect, and where your rear half meets that rear half needs to connect, and then that can be applied here. So if you want to do a tight, slow speed corner, you want to have the front wheel planted, and you really want the front wheel to stay planted at all times. So again, these points here with your arms, you need to be leaned forward to a certain degree. You need to have pressure focused on the side of the machine that you want it. If you're doing a slow speed turn, you actually want your weight to be on the outside of the bars, the outside of the turn, and you want your rear end to be on the outside of the seat. What happens is this tire becomes more effective than the inside tire, and you're able to cut a turn on a dime. If you practice it, lean your weight over to the outside, to the high side, position your hand or your weight on your hand here so that the bars have significant weight here compared to over here, and you'll be amazed at how tight you can cut a turn. The very opposite is true for a high-speed turn. For a high-speed turn, you focus your top half weight on the inside grip, and you focus your rear end, and however much weight you can put on your inside leg, to kick the rear end out. And what you end up doing in a high-speed turn on a three-wheeler is you're using the rear end to turn the three-wheeler. So you end up pivoting the rear end off the front end. So you're not really turning all that much. You might turn a little bit to initiate the turn, and then you use your weight to kick the rear end out, say for a left-hand turn, and you use the front end to control your turn. But as far as steering you around the turn, the rear wheels are doing more of the steer than the front wheels. Okay? And so it's the very opposite. If you're going fast, lean on the inside, and if you're going slow, lean on the outside. And that's going to probably do it for this little short video on how to ride a three-wheeler safely. I don't think these things got a bad rap because people thought they were so unsafe. I have a blast on this thing. I love riding this thing. It's just incredibly fun, and once you know how to do it safely, you can really rail. You can haul butt, and you just have to be in tune with how the tires are contacting the ground, how your weight needs to be positioned to affect what you want. And yeah, if you want just general motorcycling skills, check out Ryan Hughes, because a lot of what he says can be applied to any off-road riding. All right, that's it. God bless.